all right, let's look at KPIs and goals. What should you measure? Okay, there's a whole lot of things that you can measure, and there are firms in EO that do just this kind of measurement, but what really matters to you? And like The Wire, my saying is follow the money, okay? So let's look at what is going to drive demos, calls, conversion, meetings, okay? Vanity metrics are important. You need to know some of these things too, but they're not going to be driving your bottom line. So, Piyush, to answer your question, let's go to the next slide, Jamie. I think I wouldn't give you an answer to that until I know your business model. What is your annual recurring revenue? What's your monthly recurring revenue? What is a good, if you work on a project basis, I would start with that. Okay, so what's my cost for customer acquisition? I would then look at what are my marketing costs going to be for the team, making content, media buys. Obviously, the point of this is not to do it and be losing money, right? It's got to generate more than it costs to do and bring a return. With tracking in particular, some things to avoid. Expecting this all to work right away, you got to keep making changes. Again, changing course, changing the approach based on hunches. I don't think this is working. People just aren't buying homes in the spring. Let's just wait till the fall and do that. Well, what's telling you that? What's the data point that's driving you to that decision? Do you have that? Okay. If you don't, start tracking it. Change your baseline tracking. It's not all just about advertising. I like to say to clients, advertising is expensive, particularly if you're competing for high-value keywords or in a niche business, right? That's very, very competitive and expensive. Where can we seek out value? What's the money ball that we're looking for? Just think of all the ads for Progressive Insurance you see of the guy who's doing the self-help series and how often you've seen that, and just keep that, apply that to a B2B environment. Another thing to avoid is trying too many things at once. I don't say do A, B, C, D, E all at once, but work through those different iterations of things. Then you can see what's working, what's not. But you can't change 6 things at once and understand. Someone's got to do all this, okay? What does that look like as far as teams and talent and people that you're working with, okay? So one route would be to work with or bring into your team a junior person who does marketing, and they focus on execution, and a versatile person these days. And in my day, like I was a journalist originally, and I could just write. That's all I could do. But that person now can do more multimedia stuff. They're more savvy. They know how to create. Sometimes they can be doing design. Okay, it's not going to be award-winning stuff, but they can do multiple things because all content now should be multimedia. Depth at basic graphics. You could augment that with other specialist people. There's some advantages of that approach and disadvantages, right? With this individual, this more junior person, you're still going to need to manage and train them, mentor them, and oversee them, so you're still responsible for their output. And if they're right out of school, that's limited. They don't have the breadth of a career to call back on to make content because they don't have that experience. Another route to go is to hire a team, maybe a VP or director of marketing who's more experienced and has done this before at other places, knows, coming in what has worked, what could be applied to your business, and basically what kind of metrics to expect. That has pros and cons too, as does everything, of course. With this, the expertise is there, they're more experienced, they can lead the strategy and the team executes. Okay, of course, that's more expensive because you've got a bigger team and you've got dedicated resources, right? They're your employees, they come and go, there's a cost to that, so that's the downside maybe of that approach. Another route is to work with a firm, okay? You get the same one-stop shop sort of approach in how they work. And here, there's pros and cons, of course. The disadvantage of this is, as the business owner or the head of marketing, you're still ultimately responsible for the results. Okay, the firm can do so much for you, but they're not working there full time and they're not employees. But that can also be an advantage in that they're not fixed costs. Okay, it's the responsibility of the firm to manage people coming and going from the team, to manage turnover, and to stay on top of that.